So my presentation is on Omar Khadr, the Canadian terrorist. So about him, he was born on September 19th, 1986. He was born in Egypt, but is a citizen of Canada, but his nationality is Egyptian. So his sentence, he accepted an 8-year imprisonment, not including the time that he had already served. So he was thought to be considered as not even a Canadian citizen because he spent most of his time in Egypt and not in Canada because of his family. So from the beginning, a 15-year-old Canadian teenager, Omar Khadr, was captured following a firefight with American soldiers in Afghanistan. He was treated for his injuries and kept in Afghanistan for 3 months, and he was flown to Guantanamo Bay, Cuba, and imprisoned there in the American detention camp for terrorism suspects. So the history. So he cultivated a friendship with Osama bin Laden in the 1980s and was thought to have been involved in a bombing in Pakistan in 1995 and of channeling money to Al-Qaeda. He's one of the few Canadians since September 11th that was committed to bin Laden Al-Qaeda. So from the Toronto Star, so the public's thoughts on this. A Toronto Star article explains the public mood towards Omar at the time. Thomas Walcom wrote that the public sympathy for Khadr is low and that the rap on Omar seems to be that he is a terrorist from a terrorist family. His father can't be found. His 19-year-old brother Abdul was arrested in Afghanistan by Northern Alliance forces in last November, and Omar himself was fighting the Americans at Afghanistan. What other proof is necessary? A common refrain goes something like this. Toronto-born Omar was spent so much of his life outside of Canada that he's not a real Canadian citizen and therefore deserves no help from this country. So the plea. So on October 25th, 2010, Khadr pleaded guilty to the murder and terrorism. And his release. So he was released on May 7, 2015. On bail. So he then ended up living with his lawyer, Edney, and he also had to wear an ankle monitor so that they knew where he was. So here's a short video.
Who are you as a person?
Well, I'm still learning about myself. I'm still growing. I believe in learning. I didn't have a lot of experience in life, and I'm excited to start. Well, I can just say that I'm sorry for the pain I might cause the families of the victims. And there's nothing I can do about the past, but I hope that the future I can do something about the future. So I'm really surprised. It's like freedom is way better than I thought, and the Canadian public so far has been way better than I anticipated.
What do you want to do with your life?
Finish my education. I have a lot of learning to do, a lot of basic skills I need to learn. So just take it one day at a time, take it slowly.
Do you speak French at all?
No, unfortunately not.
What do you think of this lovely west end suburb?
It's pretty nice, I have to say. It's very nice.
Do you have anything to say to Mr. Harper?
Well, I'm gonna have to disappoint him. I'm better than the person he thinks I am. Yeah.
What do you make of how polarizing a figure you've become in Canada?
Well, I I can't do anything about that. All I can do is work on myself. That's all I can do.
Can you categorically say that you denounce violent jihad, Omar?
Yes. Yes, I do.
No, it's not something.
No, it's not something I believe in right now. I want to start a fresh start. There's too many good things in life that I want to experience.
Omar, so many Canadians know about your father. What do you think of your father now after all these years and what happened to you?
Well, there's a lot of questions that I would like to ask my father. As I said, I can't change the past. All I can do is to just work on the present and the future.
What do you want to ask him? What would you ask him?
Everything. A lot of decisions that he made, the reason he took us back there, just a whole bunch of questions about his reasoning behind, his life decisions. Yeah.
And these are not life decisions that you want to make going forward?
No.
One last word for the Canadian public?
I'd just like to thank them, and I would ask them, to give me a chance, and they will be surprised. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Sorry, guys, for keeping you waiting for so long. Have a good night. Sorry. Bye.
So obviously Omar Khadr is a Canadian terrorist because he's not only connected to terrorist groups, but he has also shot and killed a soldier from an allied country, meaning the United States. He should not have been brought back to this country, Canada, and should not be free to walk the streets of our cities knowing what he has done and how he may move forward.